everyone, how are you doing this week? So, I'm seeing lots of wonderful people in the chat already. So we have Quinian's Budget Crafts, Opera Ghost, Viper Taja, Jan, my wonderful moderator, and we also have Michael Clark and Miksonovitsky. I'm getting there, Todd. Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today, and let me turn down the music. I was enjoying the grooving in the tunes here too. Bring it down just so slightly so you can still hear me, but kind of hear it in the background, and that'll work. I have my own place. Oh yes, on Discord. I'm like, yeah, I have my own place. On Discord, if you ever want to come over and check out our Discord, Jan has just put the link into the chat. It's a great place where if you like creating and painting and making your terrain or painting your minis, you can go over there and you can do that with the rest of the community that we have started there. It's the Crafting Muse community. It's its own little smaller group, very supportive, very encouraging. I try and get over there as much as I possibly can. It has been a pretty crazy summer, chock full of things. Hey, good morning, Craig and Nicholas. And it's one of those things where, yeah, I'm hoping to get over there a little bit more often. So today, the focus is I'm going to just quickly finish up our little friend, Sandwich. We named him Sandwich last week. Hello, Mike Hawkins. Hello, Akile. So I finished painting Sandwich for the most part last week. And what I did was I put on the, let me grab the right wash, the flesh tone, the Reichland flesh tone. I remember this time. Put the Reichland flesh tone over him once the paint was dry enough and let that cure. The base was done using the Vallejo crushed grass effects over the palm tree. And I just like the way this kind of gives it this very barn-like farmy floor for a best description that I can provide at this moment. And what I want to do with him today is just one last round. I'm going to go back to using pale flesh and just highlighting up around his face and the higher points, which I'm grinning a little bit over because he's so round. So highlight up his higher points, like the ears, the snout, a little furrowed brow he has over his face, the hooves, a couple of these curvatures here. But Sandwich is pretty much done. It's just a little bit of beauty treatment. We're slapping the lipstick on the pig, essentially. Today's focus is going to be his cart. All right, so here is his cart, which I think is absolutely adorable. Looking at approach, I think what I'm going to do is actually start off by taking care of the wood area first, because then I can go ham. That was not intended. As soon as I said it, that was not an intended pun. I will go crazy getting the wood all taken care of, and then that means I can take my time and get these all painted up. So all I can think of is Wilbur. So that's the plan. I do pop the wheels off of this cart before I go to paint because you'll notice the wheels do have some texture and a bit of interest on the back as well. So I want to make sure that's something that's a far easier reach as opposed to putting these on, gluing them on, and then trying to paint that. So the cart's going to be in these three pieces while I'm working on it. So we'll do the wood tones first, then we'll move over to doing our pumpkins and our gourds and our, I think they're apples, and I think there might be some carrots or asparagus. I think I might go asparagus simply because orange on orange with the pumpkins, and we'll get it there. But that's basically the game plan for today. And I'm going to first start with taking care of Sandwich. There's no such thing as an unintentional pun, says Opera Ghost. The universe intends it. Who am I to argue with the universe, right? So I'm going to go back and, I got my new cutting mat, which I have to keep this out of focus with this temporary camera, which I'm hopefully getting mine back next week. I got my new cutting mat and I made sure to get a large black one because I can use the back side now to help act as a better backdrop and there's not flare up because of the style of material. So I am excited for that little point too. But since I do most of the work at this level, this is where focus is going to be happening. Asparagus black. I love asparagus. You making fun of the asparagus. Hello, Chet. How are you? And Brian, I'm totally teasing. I cannot stand broccoli. Like, I'm one of those people where broccoli tastes horrid. It has this very bitter, acidic, caustic flavor to me. No matter what you do with it, it always just tastes bitter to me, which I guess is a thing. I found out there's something, it's called, I didn't make this word up, super tasters. So it's things like, and this happens to me with cilantro if there's too much. Some people like cilantro taste like soap. I will get that, especially if someone's used too much cilantro. Same thing for broccoli. I cannot stand the stuff. Just funny things like that. So yeah, the more you know. So going over to pink flesh, and that is from the Vallejo Game Color Line. I'm going to go and I'm going to just basically address the edges here on his ears and his snout and other things, like the tail and the hindquarters and the hoofs. But he was a fun little fellow to paint last week. Rather endearing. And there's that face that looks slightly familiar. So I'm just taking a flat style brush. I am just very lightly hitting those higher points. This is to help bring out a little bit more detail on his face. You totally get the soapy cilantro taste, Chet? Oh good, I'm not alone. Some people look at me like I have 8 heads when I say that. Like, how can you not like the taste of cilantro? Like, because I feel like I've just sucked on some sort of washcloth or something that had soap on it left. And, yeah, it's not good. There's a little bit of his jowl I'm getting as well. But you can see it just sort of makes things pop ever so slightly that much more. I'm not looking for too drastic, just enough to kind of highlight. I'm telling you, the face is still reminding me of a guy I used to work with. Cracks me up. Broccoli is space fungus. Interesting, Brian. The funny thing is that no one in my family likes broccoli. I even tried to be a good mom and make sure the kids try broccoli, because, you know, everyone should try broccoli. Oh, no. Oh, no. No, 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 no. One picked it up unceremoniously and, like, flung it across the room after he took a taste. The other one started chewing it, and it was like that chew, chew, blah, blah, blah. It just came out. Like, no, broccoli is not, I don't even buy it. I don't buy it. That's how ill-liked it is in my home. A little bit too much on there. So, yeah, I thought it rather amusing when I saw my own children falling into the blech, do not like mode. Honestly. It's like, okay, so it is genetic. Also made me wonder, maybe that's why some people in my family always put so much cheese on it. To mask the flavor. Who knows? But yeah. The more you know. I don't like broccoli. They've done studies that show that small percentage of the population basically have a gene that makes cilantro taste nasty to them. Yep. Broccoli is nasty. I like how our conversations just jump to all, oops, in frame, pull into little random bits while I go along here. So yeah, broccoli, yo, no. So don't forget as well, I'm going to put a quick link into the chat here. Easy Dice Roller has this fantastic Kickstarter. It's still going on. And I do recommend you check that out. They also have a giveaway that's going on in connection. And I am helping them out with that. So if you go over, there is a link. I can't do it right now. There is a link in the description below of how to get into the giveaway as well. And for the giveaway, you get a pretty nifty collection. They have this gorgeous set of metal dice, one of their dice trays, and a dice bag, one of these reversible dice bags to match the tray. So it's actually a really neat giveaway. I think we have another 18 or so days on it. I have to double check and look. But this is something I definitely recommend. Go and check it out. I'm going to see if I can hunt down the link in just a little bit and share that with you. But that is something that Easy Dice Roller does have going on right now. So do be sure to go and check them out. They're a wonderful company too. It's one thing I wanted to make sure I mentioned. The other thing is that I am dealing with some schedule changes because I'm realizing that there was too much going on. And also some things have come my way. So I started doing the Friday Feature Terrain live stream, which happened first time last week. Fantastic turnout of people. I actually worked on these bits of mushroom scatter. So these are going to get finished up on Friday. I am actually going to make sure they get painted with some base color first. But did that. That was a lot of fun. And then I have been chatting with Wolfgang from Cobalt Press, and he has asked me to work on some terrain for him. So that being the case, this is a pretty good chunk of terrain. So I'm going to be using the Terrain Feature Friday to show off the terrain I'm going to be making for Cobalt Press. And I am very excited for it. And this is something that I do have a deadline for it. So I'm going to be working furiously on it. And as a result, when I went to look at my schedule, I realized that something had to give. So I'm actually bowing out of the games I was playing on Scraticus Academy because both of those times were already kind of crunching into time with after school stuff with the kids. and daytime work for me. And obviously I like to work in the day where there's more light and being able to go outside when it comes to terrain stuff. So unfortunately I've had to bow out of those games. However, they're still going strong. So head over there. You absolutely can jump in and keep watching and see how it all goes. I personally will be working on terrain like a crazy lady because of this great thing that's come up. And this is going to be terrain that has been inspired by the city of Zobek in Midgard. So if you have the Midgard World Book, if you have the Streets of Zobek, if you have the Zobek Gazetteer, those are all going to be sources I'm working with and looking into to help me create all this stuff. So I'm really excited for these for this project. There's some really fun concepts that we've been chatting about that I want to pull together, and yeah, that's going to be my focus for terrain for the next for the foreseeable future. Let's put it that way. That's definitely on board, and yeah, I'm just ready and raring to go. What's holding me up right now is the fact that I have to order supplies because there's some things I need to get off the interwebs and go from there. But yes, that is the game plan for me for fall. We've had to change the pace. I'm going to be doing more crafting and terrain building, and I'm going to share as much of it as I can on the feature Fridays. I may even just do like some impromptu streams depending on how I'm feeling if I want company. I know the mic booty, or like you said, the pig booty, the mic booty. Oops, sorry, no, the pig booty while I'm painting. So yeah, that is I'm excited for it. God, there's some really cool ideas that up here they're a lot of fun, and I'm hoping you like seeing them pulled together. So yeah, I'm going to be making lots of terrain soon. Very, very soon. But seriously, if you haven't come across Cobalt Press's books for Midgard, they are very much worth checking out. D&D and Pathfinder compatible. Of course, I'm using it for D&D. I've never played Pathfinder, actually. So that's going to be my baby for the fall, for sure. Working on all of that, getting that all pulled together and ready. And then there'll be a big reveal as to where this is going to be used. So yay! Thank you so much, Michael. It's one of those things I've been wanting to kind of mention it, but, you know, again, in discussion with Wolfgang, wanted to make sure everything was a go. Got the thumbs up, started ordering supplies yesterday, so away we're going to go. So here he is with just a little bit more... Here he is with just a little bit more of the pink flesh on him. You can see it just brings out a few more of those details. Now again, he's so roly-poly-ole. Some of it doesn't exactly pop out, but really the most difference was the face, which is what I wanted to get. So that is Samich. He's done. Samich is all done. Now I'm going to jump over to working on doing the shadow layer for the cart. Oh, that's awesome, chat. So definitely the thing that's going to be fun about this whole Zobek thing is I've had people asking me a lot about city terrain. And a good chunk of this will be great for applying, that's the word I'm looking for applying this to creating your own cityscapes and your own city terrain, as well as those of you who are getting more into the sort of like the thriller horror genres like Cthulhu and whatnot. Those will be things, a lot of this will line up with that in terms of aesthetic, because you'll get, you know, a touch of steampunk for a more ready reference. You have a touch of steampunk that goes on with Zobek. There's the Gearforge. There is all this lovely stuff with Rava. So something to keep in mind, something to look forward to. So I'm going to start with a cart, and I'm going to do Manamana. I'm thinking out loud. I'm going to go over to Khaki, and I'm going to do that as the shadow layer to bring out the details on this guy. And for some reason, the music hath stopped or paused. I don't know. Come on. There we go. And yeah, so we'll do that. And then I'll start doing just a couple quick layers of browns. And I'm probably going to make this a little bit more because I'm picturing this as sort of a cart that's kept outside more than anything else, especially with the fruits and the veggies in there. So it's going to be not a true brown, like, you know, gorgeous brown table type of thing. It's going to be more the weathered brown and gray mix, really, is what I'm going to do with the cart itself, which is why I'm going for the khaki color. I always feel like I'm saying khakis, like I'm in Boston. But hey. Oh, Chet, oh, nice. You're going to make one of the skull dice holders? Very cool. Those are fun. They actually work really well as terrain scatter, too. Well, those will crop up every so often. So same thing you always see me do with the shadow layer. I'm going to take it so the brush pulls perpendicular to the rows of grain, just to highlight out those details for me. I'm going over very lightly. Not too heavy-handed here, but you can see it helps bring out that wood grain, which I love to do. But yeah, the card's gonna be pretty standard quo, status quo, pretty standard. Let's do that again. Let's blend them together again. Oh, very cool, Michael, that you get to join me on Fridays then. I did notice that we had a lot more viewers on Friday, which was fun to see and good to see as well. So hopefully that kind of keeps up and we get more people joining us for the live streams. It always makes the chat a lot of fun and dynamic when we have an increase of people jumping in to say hi. So we'll see what happens. But yes, my focus has been reverted back to doing terrain. Hello, Jesse. Oh, wonderful. You're very much welcome for sharing. I enjoy sharing things with everyone. So yeah, this terrain build is it's gonna have lights. It's gonna have different scenes. It's gonna have some modular stuff for tabletop gameplay. That's kind of a neat little twist that I have in mind. So yeah, I'm super excited for it. My brain has been whirling with ideas. I've been looking at reference photos all of last week just to get concepts going. Really glad I did too, because I feel like it's definitely helped me get a more solid feel for what I want to do. But like I said, it's all based in Zobek. And if you're not familiar with Zobek, it's a city in Midgard, which is part of the Kobold Press world that they have going on. So yeah, and you never know. Oh look, made in China. So definitely go and check out Kobold Press. Take a look at these things. Once again, it's the Zobek Gazetteer, the Streets of Zobek, and the Midgard World Book. They're wonderful. I have them all, and I highly appreciate each and every one of them. And the funny thing is I'm doing the campaign in the Margrave. And that, you know, that's one of those things where you never know. Something may happen down the line. But it's been funny to be prepping for my game in Margrave and then jumping over to Zobek to prepare for this terrain building. See, I'm liking this new setup already because I've been blotting my paintbrush and the camera's not shaking like it has in the past. Yay! The pig clearly caught the cart in Walmart. You ever find that, like, you'll go shopping where there's a Walmart nearby and it's like a complex of stores, and for some reason there is a Walmart cart that's near a mile away from the actual Walmart area itself, but there sits the cart, empty and abandoned. Who? I want to know who is the doing of that. Seriously, who goes about doing that? Like, just takes the cart only a certain point and then says, you know what? Screw returning the cart. I'm going to leave it here. It's just so, it boggles my mind. It's such a bizarre thing. The new setup is absolutely working for me, Todd. I am thrilled to bits with it. It's just so much easier to, I can move my arms around, and look, I'm not hitting the camera. I have arm space. I have the ability to keep things nearby, but not stacking like I've been having to do in the past. And especially with making terrain now, I'll be able to lift this camera up so I have a wider scope. So when I'm doing minis, obviously closer in, but when I'm doing terrain, it's going to loft up and you'll see my whole table, which I'm just like, ha! I'm excited for it. I'm very happy for it. Definitely already worth the investment. I've only had this set up for a week, but I'm thrilled to bits with it. So I'm still going to work with this. Go through here. I'm thinking what I might actually do is keep going with this dry brushing with the various colors I want to do for the wood. I think that might help me more with getting the weathering of the wood that I want. And we'll take it from there. Oh no, nope, forgot to blot. Hold on. If you forget to blot and you just do what I did, very quickly, you can go in with your paper towel and pull some of that up. Yeah, my bad. I'll fix it. And I'm going to rinse my brush. Oh, I know what I did. I dipped like right into it. And you can take your rinsed off brush and pull up some of the excess paint that you don't want in there. I find that'll help if you went a little too overboard, like I just did because I wasn't frankly paying attention. Hello, Ravenwolf. How are you? Yeah, that's better. Nothing a little wash won't fix when the time comes. Mistakes happen. You're never late. Don't ever apologize for being late. When you show up here, you show up. That's all that matters. We enjoy having the company whenever and if you can make it. Quite simple as that. So yes, we have talked about the big terrain build deal, which, God, I'm so excited to get that started. Honestly, it's just a matter of waiting for supplies, and then I'll be off and running with that stuff for Kobold. And then what else? I mentioned the Easy Dice Roller Kickstarter, as well as the giveaway they have going on, where you have a chance to win one of those, and a cool dice tray, and all this other stuff. And then what else? I miss. Mace is almost around the bend, surprisingly, because we're about to hit mid-September. How did this happen? What? So starting first week in November, 8th through 10th, full week, I will be at Mace in Charlotte, North Carolina, along with the other with the total of the 5 guild masters, myself included. So yes, do come and see us at Mace. It's November 8th through 10th. It's run by Just Us Productions. And if you want more information, go to their website, www.justusproductions.com, and you can get more information on that. Okay? So I will be there. We have some things planned. I'm going to be doing a mini painting class. The other guys have some things planned as well, class-wise, game-wise. There's going to be a crafting competition. There's going to be a Guildmasters crafting competition. So some interesting things are in the works there. So if you're in the area, come on. Come out and say hi. I'm also getting the fruits and veggies here too, so I can see them a lot better. All right, cool. So that is all I'm going to be doing with Khaki on this. Don't forget your wheels. Because remember, I popped the wheels off. Many things, but fashionable, that's new, says Brent. Hey, you could be a trendsetter. How's that? Oh, what is going on here? I did it again. You know what? One moment, please. I think the brush might be getting soft. That also happens when the brushes get older. They start getting less rigid. Basically doing the same thing with the paper towel to get rid of the excess. I'm going to switch to a different brush. But see, it got rid of the oopsie by doing that. You can work quickly, luckily. Yes, Mike, you are going to be going to Mace. That'll be, or not Mike. You're hoping, oh, you are going to be going to Mace. Okay, so Mike is hoping to go to Mace and meet. Mace is not a huge convention, so chances are extremely high you will meet. And Brian, it'll be great to see you and Candy there. You two are a lovely couple. Can't wait to see you again. I'm going to switch to a different brush for this. So very much looking forward to seeing you there. And yeah, like I said, fun things happening. Fun events planned. That is just going to be neat to meet. It's going to be neat to meet. Words. I'm also coming off of a migraine yesterday, so forgive me. I am slightly blurred mind because the medication I have to take for it has like this lovely 24-hour aftermath, as I like to call it. So it's kind of like this dull hangover, where it's just you're just like, what? But I'd rather that than the because I get the aura stuff where it's like you get the floating lights in front of you, and then I get this very dull ache in the back of my head, and then sound is just my enemy. So I'd much rather the hangover feeling than the migraine. Thank you very much. But it'll also be good to see everyone all together at Mace and get a chance to finally meet Jeremy and Gareth, because they are flying in. They are going to be there. And then I also have friends from the streaming side of things who will be there as well. So just really, really cool stuff like that to be able to touch base and say hello, hi, how are ya? And yeah, it's always fun to touch base with people in the community. It really is. All right, so there's one wheel done with just the khaki on it. The car keys, with just the car keys on the cart. Fun may now commence. 7 of 9. Yes. Give me references like that. That was fun, Brent. I am still in the process of, we started watching Stargate. We started watching the original Stargate, SG-1. And now we've jumped over to Atlantis. I still like the first one better. I'm an SG-1 fan. Atlantis is okay, but SG-1 I'm kind of, that's my bread and butter. It would be nice, Brian, but John has taken on a fantastic new venture. He's become a drummer, and he's doing so well with it. It's wonderful to see. He's doing great things. He's excited. So I will pass that along to him by all means. But right now, dude's got his sticks in hand, and he's making some pretty cool music. Yay, John. And hello, Dan Dillon. How are you? I was just telling them about Zobek. Dan actually was very helpful. I was talking with him about the overall look and feel because he runs a game that takes place in Zobek, World Tree Burns, over on Kobold Press's Twitch channel. So if you kind of want to get a sense of what Zobek is like, maybe kind of sort of head over there on, Tuesday evenings, 8 p.m. A suggestion. Or if you want to get foresty and spooky and fun, then you come over on Sunday nights and you join me as I run a game in the Margrave. I am loving, oh God. Let's talk about The Last Dare. Please, 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 let's talk about The Last Dare. Because my players, I was so proud of them. The work they did on Sunday was, there were moments I sat there and I went without saying a thing for minutes on end, but they were hitting these points where I was hoping we'd get to anyways, in terms of backstory and story development. It was a wonderful night. It was such a great and fulfilling night as a DM to see them reach and go and run with these concepts. They really, hands up, my players are awesome. I adore them and their talents, and they're wonderful. Jim Davis from Web DM, his character got a little bit drunk. And there's a clip. I will have to share the clip. I have shared the clip on Twitter. I think, did I share it on Facebook? I don't know. So he gets his character drunk. He's got like this very like rough and that's how he talks and kind of gets muddled together and da. He goes, yeah, I heard that, when, before when it's like we had to start fighting trolls, someone got these acid elementals to, the liminal stomach, and that way it makes it easier for us trolls to kill them. And I was just like, what? We all just started cracking up. I think he broke about myself and half the other players. And that was one of those moments just like, I have no idea where this came from, but please keep going with this because it was too damn funny. It was such a riot. So we had a little bit of hilarity there, and he brought in more later because he wanted to find his chicken, and I know why he was finding his chicken. He was gifted some very cool boots from Baba Yaga, boots of the grandmother, which is something that I kind of pulled together myself. I'm going to move over now to Stonewall Gray, again doing this dry brushing to give it the weathered wood. The weathered wood. That's going to be a fun tongue twister. The weathered wood. So I know he wanted that chicken because it has to be like an all black feathered chicken type of situation. So was that English? It is, Quinian. It is English, and the way he does it just cracks me up. Do I have social colors you have in mind for those carts? Yeah, I'm using the Stonewall, the Khaki, and probably Bonewhite is the order of operation I'm thinking for this one. Not sponsored, which I know seems silly, but people have been getting issues. Oh, hello there, Damien. How are you? I don't know why I just slipped to that voice. The many voices. The many, many voices. So, that's right, Jim. So Jim got it in his head that he wanted to get the chicken so he could do the sacrifice he might need later on for the boots. Another player jumped in and said, could you get that chicken to shut up? It's been balking this whole time, which we hadn't been playing it that way. But I get inspired by them and I start clucking like a chicken. So, if you want to hear me cluck like a chicken, check that out. But we had fun with that too, because then all of a sudden he starts slipping into pig Latin, of all things. So the chicken wouldn't know that they were talking about sacrificing it. So it was an sacrifice say. It was just, hello, Mia. It was just one of those things where it was hilarious. It was a lot of fun seeing him goof around with all that. All right, so I'm going to do a little bit more sporadically with the Stonewall Gray, just to kind of blend these colors together. And again, I'm going for a weathered wood look, which if you look at wood that's been out in the weather, it has a very mixed tone of browns and grays blurred together, and then some lighter tones like beiges because of the weathering or the wearing of particular parts of the wood. The voices are the DM coming out. James, I'd like to say that's the case, but I was speaking in voices before I became a DM. We'll say it's the English teacher instead, because I would read in voices to my students all the time. All the time. You like this song? I'm glad you like the song. Oh, that's good to hear, Damien. Oh, Ruined Temple. That sounds very cool. So we had those moments of hilarity. But, ooh, frame, Vanessa. here we go. So we had those moments of hilarity. And then just after his character's name is Slain, just after Slain the Trollkin got drunk, our human fighter, Gervain, he looks over to our halfling fighter, Zira. And both of them got a little bit spooked by the encounter that they started off in, the Dream Wraith. And those suckers are fun to use DMs if you want to have backstory brought in. I highly recommend them. But he played it that his character was shaken by what the Dream Wraith basically made him see. And he knows that she was exposed to something as well. So he pulled her aside. He goes, hey, do you want to just sort of, talk things over and get a feel? This will show you the difference here with the Stonewall Gray. This is with just the Khaki. This is with the Stonewall Gray. And then they started playing this out. It was complete improv. I had given them no prompts whatsoever. I didn't even know that he was going to instigate this, which for him as a player was fantastic to see, because he had said he is not as familiar with doing roleplay stuff so much as with doing, because he's more DM than he is player. So for him, this was a new venture. This was a new stretch. And I sat there, I want to say good 15 minutes. They discussed as their players as their PCs. They discussed these points in their PCs' lives. They nailed it. They absolutely nailed it. It was poignant. It was touching. It was intriguing because of how they sort of danced around certain points, but hinted to them. So, yeah, they really did a phenomenal... Kai and Michael, they really did a phenomenal job with that one. And then, towards the end of the game, we had Jesse, who plays Maurice, our Gearforged Pantheist priest. And AOL is played by Torn Pixie. That is our Shadow Fae Warlock. And the two of them were really putting the screws to this new NPC I had just brought in. It's an NPC who's taking them to this grove that, again, it's set in the Margrave. I've put it in the Margrave, and I'm using the race, the Alcide. That's another race I absolutely love. And it's kind of going to be my own concoction, this particular location, because I kind of got inspired by the weather and how it looks around me right now. So this NPC, his name is Cal. He's an Alcide, and he is taking them to what's called the Eternal Grove, or the Grove of Eternal Autumn. And something's going on with the grove. It's not doing well. Da-da-da-da. Hello, Tom. You're very welcome. Thank you so much. You paint on stream. You paint and stream on lunch. Hey, that works. Why not, Aaron? So basically, Maurice and AOL, they wanted to know more about this place where they were going, and they started asking these questions. Thank God I was prepared, because I had spent a lot of time preparing this little tidbit before presenting it to them. But they were asking some really good questions of this NPC, and what I liked is that it was giving me the ability to turn into the race in terms of how they're not exactly nuts about people of certain areas, and the ones questioning him were the ones who kind of get the hairy eyebrow. So it was really, really very cool. It was a fantastic session on Sunday because of how much they put into it as players, as characters, and just to be able to laugh about it as well as people together. It was wonderful. So if any of you are watching, thumbs up, everybody. But please do and come check it out with us. We're there every Sunday for the most part, unless something comes up like, a convention. But who goes to conventions? We'd love to have you over there, quite frankly. All right, now that I'm done waxing poetic about my game, let me go back to the chat. Any recommendations for DM Burnout? Been running the same campaign for 2 years. Oh, okay, yeah, Tom, that can definitely be an issue. I know a lot of people who run into been doing the same scene. Change it up a little bit. You can always put the campaign itself on pause, and you can always do a one-shot to change things a little bit. Maybe see if one of your players want a one-shot. See if one of the players maybe want to run a one-shot. That can always become an option. There are ways to sort of break the monotony. You could do an alternate universe where basically it's the same place, the same characters, but things have been switched around. The relationships, the interactions. Oh, thank you, Mike. Yes, the Grove of Eternal Autumn. And stuff like that will help it vary it enough for you mentally so you get that break. Jake, Mini Terrain Domain Jake, he actually will have us every so often when we're doing the Dawnbringers, and maybe one of us can't come. He's done it a couple times with this alternate reality stuff. We have had such a blast doing that, so we didn't have to roll up whole new characters. We just knew that we were going to play them differently. So things like my character, Cantriel, and Talmud. In normal Dawnbringers, we don't hate each other. They don't hate each other. Let's make that clear. Jeremy and I don't play them to hate each other. We play them that they just get on each other's nerves like a brother and a sister is really how we play those two. So instead of having those two at each other's throats and just sarcastic banter back and forth all the time, it phased into they were a couple. And it was hysterical to watch everyone else's reaction when it was like the end of the game, she bends, because he's a dwarf and she's an elf, she bends over and gives him a great big kiss. So stuff like that was just, it refreshes us, it refreshes the feel of things. And then we went back to playing next week. It was like, okay, now we're back to the familiar and this is great and isn't this fun? We had a great time playing something else, but oh my gosh, I can't wait to get back into the game. Things like that do help. And it's okay to take a break. Think about it. You don't have to put the campaign away completely just because you're taking a pause. You can even pick up those things where it's like one-sheet games. What is it? Eurydice, I think is his name on Twitter. He makes these fantastic one-sheet games. All the rules are on one sheet in terms of everything. Like the storyline, the character creation. So it's sort of like Crash Pandas, except amended. So there's things like that that just help you as the DM. And honestly, speaking from experience, just about burnout in general, it's okay to say you're getting burned out. In fact, admit you're getting burned out and take that break. It's why I took a break from terrain, and I'm glad I took a break from terrain, because quite frankly, if I'd been approached to do this terrain project, I probably would have freaked out in terms of, oh my gosh, how am I going to get this all done now, and felt further pressured because I'd been going with terrain all summer instead of giving myself the mental break I really did need. I forgot, this is metal, so this is actually getting painted up in metal. So I'm going to do the stone wall on it, but then call it on the stone wall for this, and then we'll switch over to doing a metal coverage. So yeah, burnout is a real thing. Burnout can happen really in any level of profession. Just remember, it's okay to walk away. And it's okay to change things. And it's okay to say, I'm not okay with this anymore. I'm done. Otherwise, you're going to make yourself a little bit too harried. Hey, Miguel! Oh, the bog of eternal stench. Oh. I actually just found my Labyrinth DVD. I was quite nostalgic and happy about that. I might have to watch that later now. Ooh la. Okay, I'm almost done with the Stonewall Gray. I'm liking the way this wood is looking. And then I'm just going to go back in with the Bonewhite, and we'll do one last round for the aged, weathered wood look. And then I'll go in and I'll do the metalwork details as well. Here we go. I'm not going to do it too much here. Oh, maybe I might. I take it back. I take it back. I take it all back. Yeah, but that is wood. That's what I'm looking at. I'm like, that's wood. Yo, says Miguel. Rock's friends. Dudo. Let me tell you, there are a few select themes where if anyone ever came up to me like, hey, would you want to play this as a RPG game? Yes, thank you, please, right now. Labyrinth is one of them. Labyrinth is absolutely one of those games I would be all for. Vampire is the other one. I want to be a vampire. You're very welcome, Tom. You know what? Take your player up. If your player has volunteered to do a short run, take them up on that. If they've offered it, that means they're probably seeing you need the break too. I go for it. Oh yes, and the Dark Crystal. Talk about beep. Dark Crystal be another one. Yes, thank you. I have the board game and I have some gorgeous minis. That might be a winter project. We shall see. Yeah, that's wonderful, Tom. Definitely explore that. So here we go with, this is with just the khaki and the Stonewall Gray, and it's definitely getting the weathered wood look. I'm now going to jump over to Bonewhite, and we'll do that. Bowie was, I think I've shared this before, he was like one of my first crushes. But yeah, he was fantastic in that movie. Yeah, I know. That would have been lovely, Jonathan, had he have lived a little bit longer. But I must say, there has been some legacy productions in his name where they've really done an impressive job with his vision and continuing that. So major, like, I've only caught, how many episodes? 2.5 of The Dark Crystal. The boys started watching it, and then they decided that one does not like certain scenes and the other one loves the whole thing. So we're getting a little bit interesting in there. But what I have caught so far, holy moly. I love it. I love it. My cousin actually sent me a text message. He goes, "Can we talk about this yet?" I'm like, "We can talk about it vaguely, but yes, let's talk." And we're both just thrilled to bits over it. He does some voice acting stuff. So yes, it runs in the family. So for him, he was just gaga over the voice acting. I was going crazy over the sets. And yeah, we were just fanboying and girling, something like that, to no end over it. But I can't wait to get that done and completed. I have started up Carnival Row on Amazon. God, that's another one. That's another one I'm very much like, ooh, hello, yes, I like this show. I know it's not to everyone's taste, which is fine, but for me, that's definitely hitting some points of enjoyment as a viewer. So I'm quite happy catching that when I can, except I can only do like one episode a night because of how heady some of it gets in terms of intensity. I'm like that as a person who watches stuff. Like sometimes I have to get up and walk away for a little bit. That's why I'm horrible in movie theaters. What would be the labyrinth for a terrain project? Oh, no, I'm not doing Stonewall. Don't get me started on that one. Yeah, Jan, he can't post links, but Miguel is very much encouraged to share whatever information he can. Thingiverse. Go on to Thingiverse and find Miguel for his creations. He also made minis for my players for The Last Dare, and Miguel, they are so excited. It's adorable. It's wonderful. They're like, I'm getting a mini. Yes, you are. All right. Still using that Bonewhite. And I am going to be washing this with Agrax, so I know there's going to be deeper tones of brown brought in because of this, which is why I'm sticking to just lighter colors. And now it's more of like random patterns of dry brushing. Really, I'm focusing this more towards the edges of things to show off more of the wear of what would be the wood. And if you hear this constant thrumming in the background, it is the dehumidifier going in the basement because I came down here and it felt like a swamp, which was not fun. Carnival Row is amazing. Wait, what? Really, Todd? Oh, I'm gonna have to look into that. They've already made one. Oh, see? Dark Crystal like scatter. We're gonna have to see where I stand when I'm done with this terrain for Cobalt Preyas. How's that? That would be... Oh, I'd be on that. You heard it here first, folks. If once I have some time, I might just have to start doing some terrain that's Dark Crystal inspired. Yes, please. Thank you very much. Absolutely. That would be wicked. Wicked cool, yo. Oh, yes. I love Bonewhite. This is working. Is this working? Yay! And what I also do is I go back and forth every so often just to see how the paint is drying. Sometimes I'll add on more of the same color into a certain spot just to kind of bring it out more. But yeah, this is getting the gnarly old wood look that I wanted. And the reason why I went with the gnarly old wood look is because it's really going to pop nicely next to the brighter fruits and vegetables in the cart. I wanted to kind of have that back and forth of the duller wood with the brighter gourds and such. Okay. I'm happy with that for the cart itself. A little bit more on this side. Alright, I'm going to call it for that. Now I need to do the wheels. Wheel of carts. You thought I was going to say fortune, didn't you? Cipher system. Hey, nothing wrong with cipher system. Agrax Earthshade. I think I just got paint on my forehead. Magic in a bottle. Many washes are magic in a bottle. Many, many. I do like my washes. They make me very happy. Same thing here. I'm just taking this and working it more towards the edges to bring that all out before it rolls away on me. All right, so it's 12:45. We'll see how far I get with painting the fruits and veggies. At least enough to give you an idea of where I'm going with things. What I don't want to do is carry this into another session and then we're really... There's other fun stuff. I actually got commissioned to do this Curse of Strahd miniature. Strahd himself. I did post that picture on Twitter and on Facebook. Let's just say there's an interesting post in the miniature. I saw that and I started cracking up. There we go. Oh, that's awesome. Yay, congrats on the new edition. Congrats on the printer. And yes, definitely check out Danny with his YouTube channel. He's a huge resource, good information, and then also be sure to follow Miguel for sources of files. Them's is the guys to catch. And Miguel, you're going to be at Mace too, yes? I'm remembering that correctly. Please do. Please go check out. Go and do all the funs and the things. Alright, here we go. So that takes care of the wooden points. I'm going to do the metal because the hubs... come hither. The hubs I'm going to paint metal. And this piece is going to get the metal treatment. So all this is going to get metallic, metallic, metallic. Keep the rest wood. It'll all get the Agrex treatment, so you get some more... It's trying to get very gray on the screen, but it's not as gray as it looks. And then we'll get some... Oh, of course! Yay! Mace won't know what hit him. Miguel, Jen, and I, we're going to go have fun. When we have free time, at least. But yes, Miguel will be there, too. So see, more reason to come to Mace. Yay! All right, so let's get into our vegetables and pumpkins and such. I think I'm going to start with... the pumpkins. And I think I'm actually going to do 2 different oranges. Because that's definitely a thing when you go pumpkin picking. You get these pumpkins in varying tones. So I don't want to do all the same orange all around. Cosplay is a failed 3D. You do that, Miguel. You do that. I would pay to see that. That would be fun. Oh, let me just shift a little bit here. Not quite the orange I want. Apparently dwarf skin. Dwarf skin. This is what we're going to be using also for the oranges. So, for the pumpkins, I'm going to alternate between... There you go. Dwarf skin and scurrilous... The one I always trip over! Scrofulous brown. Alright, so we're going to be using these for our pumpkins. For sure. Ooh, sculpting wood? Nope. That's a whole different thing we're doing if you're sculpting wood. There are some fantastic craftspeople out there, though, who do sculpt. Oh my god. Well, you have Matthew Halstead. He'll be at Mace as well. He does leather work that is like no one's business. Beautiful stuff. Yeah, let me go a size down. Alright, so I'm going to be using this one from Vallejo to start painting my pumpkins. And I'm going to rotate. I'm first going to go in and do some with the dwarf skin. And then I'll go in and I'll do some with the one I can't say. Scrofulous brown. Like a trick you use on the cloth robe you did on the recent stream. Oh, are you speaking to me, Quinian, or... No, you're speaking to Miguel. There we go. Yeah, fall theme items for city and farm is fun. And this one is just by nature. Just that. Because, you know, pumpkins. He's got pumpkins and stuff. So I'm just lightly taking this paintbrush and dancing it across the top here. Not looking to get it into every nook and cranny. I actually kind of want it to get more shadowy towards the base. And have that work with me when the time comes. But there's one little pumpkin. I think my white balance... This camera, like I said, the camera here, this one, it's not mine, it's Dave's from Nerdarchy. We accidentally switched our cameras at Keystone. So I'm still not quite fully nuanced with how this one balances itself out, because it's a different system, so to speak. I'll be happy when I get mine back next week and I can go back to it. Hello! Hello, how you doing there? What? I cannot see your full name. Squirrelful Brown. I like that, actually. Can we call it Squirrel Brown? Let's just call it Squirrel Brown. So still sticking with the dwarf skin, going to a different pumpkin. Gonna get that on so we have a nice orangey blush. This reminds me more of like the pumpkins you get for pie. But yeah, the camera itself, I think the white balance is still a little bit slightly off because everything's looking a little more blue. I'm just noticing. No, it's totally okay. There you go. A little bit more on here. How many pumpkins we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, good. They worked the balance of odds. Thank God, that would have driven me nuts. Diseased brown. Thank you, Olivia. The diseased brown that begins with an S, but I can't say the word itself. I don't know why. Scruff. It's one of those tongue twisters for me. I like that you're tempted to write that on your own bottle. Diseased brown. Well, hey. Da-da-da-dum. Nothing wrong with learning as you go. Some paint names always crack me up. Plaid especially, they get into like their food paints. Like chocolate and toffee and this, that, and the other thing, to the point where when I'm doing a video voiceover, and that's the dehumidifier, and I'm reading off these names, I'll be sitting there like, I'm starting to get hungry because of the words I'm reading. Hello, Johnny Cooper. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Kind of you to stop and say hello. Alright, so we're going to do these 3 with that color, with the dwarf. You kind of get the idea. I don't dare fix it right now because, like I said, it's not my camera and I don't want to screw up the stream because I hit the wrong button trying to. But that gets the one color in, and then I'm going to jump over to the disease brown that begins with an S. Yeah, I would totally get hungry with those words from the plaid lines. Because there's like ripened tomato and roasted something. There was a toasted maybe? Maybe toasted. It's all these. All the browns are chocolates and stuff. See? Quinian just vouched for me with the food stuff. So I'm going to jump over to this one with this word. With that word. That pronunciation. And I'm going to get the other pumpkins with this one. Because this one has more of that classic bright orange pumpkin-y look that everyone likes the look of. But like I said, I didn't want them all to be the same kind of pumpkins in the cart. Because if you go to those farmer markets, you'll see they all come in all different colors. Toxic boils. Ooh. Army Painter coming on strong with those heavy imagery names. Look at the pumpkins. These are just too cute. It's fun to do cute minis every so often. There we go. There's one little pumpkin. Pumpkin pie. Our one kiddo likes pumpkin pie. Especially the whipped cream that comes on top. That was something that had me cracking up the first. I want to try pumpkin pie. Okay. Oh, he tried it. He tried that whipped cream right on top and he left the slice behind. It's like, you little stinker. He's gotten better now. He will actually eat the slice of pie because he realized, oh wait, that's good too. The joys of parenting. So again, I'm getting the color, I'm focusing the color mostly towards the top of the pumpkins. I'm allowing it to shadow more towards the base. It's a gross purple color, which oh, okay. A gross purple color. Everyone needs a gross purple color in their life. My stool is spinning on me. Hold on. That's why I'm like wiggling. Oh! Oh yeah, holiday season is coming. I'm gaining 30 pounds. See, what's funny is I always tend to lose because a lot of the stuff that's made for the holidays I can't eat. So I'll be the one who's like having a roll and some turkey. Kid you not. Unless I'm the one cooking, then it's a different story. Then I can make it all safe to eat for me. There we go. There's a bigger pumpkin in the back. And then there's this one tucked right there that I want to get to. And yes, I'm painting on my hand like I always do. Why are we talking about pie? We're talking about pie because we got the pumpkins in the cart, hun. Bring the pumpkins back home, roast them up, get the pie going. You know what's also really good? Pumpkin soup. With bacon. Yes, I said with bacon. It's sweetened with real maple syrup, and it has to be real. It has to be real. Real maple syrup. You cook up, it's like equal parts pumpkin, pureed pumpkin, and sweet potatoes. And then you add in onions that have been sauteed and bacon. And you use chicken stock to thin it out a little bit. And then if you can, I cannot. If you can, you add some heavy cream towards the end. Oh my God. That is a soup. That is a soup. I have a feeling I'm going to be sharing the soup recipe. I'll take the bacon. You can have the soup. Ooh, there you go. Yep. Take coffee and pour it on top of vanilla ice cream. Okay, this gets my pumpkins painted. So now, I'm pretty darn sure that's an eggplant. I'm going to treat it as an eggplant. It reminds me of an eggplant. Behave. Let's see. Do I have an aubergine? An aubergine. Hexed lichen. Yeah, I think that'll work. We'll go with hexed. Oh, you've got the... Well, then there you go. If you live in Canada, you have the right maple syrup for that. People think I'm Canadian half the time because of how I say out. Yes, I just said out. Let's see. Alternatively, the pig raided the Green Goblin's stash and now has a cart full of explosive pumpkin bombs. Oh, that's a fun idea. That's a way to use that mini. Alright, so I'm going to go over to Hexed Lichen. I only need a little bit, but of course more than I wanted came out. Whatever. And I'm going to get this one. Is there another one in there that... That's definitely eggplant right there. The rest of this is like... I don't know. I don't know. See, eggplant right there. I'm going to do apples, so I'm going to wrap some reds and greens. Yep. Concentrated evil. Not everyone likes a good eggplant. That's all I'm going to say. Alright, here we go. So this is taking the Hexed Lichen. And it's the only one. Maybe they were wise and they didn't get a whole bunch going. Since they're supposed to be... What was that again? What was your husband calling it? I gotta go back up. Wait! Concentrated evil. There's that phrase I wanted. Concentrated evil. That's a riot. That is absolutely hysterical. So no eggplant parmigiana, huh? Some of that I do wonder if they've gotten eggplant that hasn't been sweated out with salt, because that does help the bitterness. No, chocolate is evil. Dark chocolate is fantastic. You leave my dark chocolate alone. Yeah, see, as Quinian just brought up, if you do a sweat to help draw out, it does get that bitterness out of the eggplant when you do that. If you ever want to try it. I'm not saying go out and like prove me wrong type of thing. Eggplant, yep. That seems to be how most people enjoy their eggplant dishes. Thank you, Emoji, for making this a very interesting conversation. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right, so we have our eggplant. Again, that was just text-like, and it's pretty on the mark with the color I wanted. So yay! Now I'm going to move on to, I'm going to get some red and green out and treat these round objects as apples. Because, you know, harvest time apples. Yeah? We'll go there. Yes, it is. Dark chocolate is good for you, people. Like the dark chocolate. Embrace the dark. Come to the dark side. It's still chocolate. And this, I think I might have to tighten a bolt when I'm done. If I go flying off this seat, it's because something got loosened when I was moving it around. We shall see. Hey, were you watching the stream that time that V fell off her chair? Baba Ganoush. Ooh, very cool. I need the right green. Pardon me. No, that's too yellow. That's too. That's a tutu. Not really. It's not a tutu. Just too much. I'm going to plaid. Vallejo's not helping me here. I'm going to my plaid. Yeah, see? Right off the bat. Right off the bat, I say a couple that'll work. Let me go with... Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. I'm going to do like Granny Smith style. Kiwi. Yeah, Kiwi's a little bit too light. It's the magic behind the curtain, folks. My paint storage. Ta-da! Which I love. No. Is this the one I'm thinking of? Close, but no cigar. Here. Aha! It is palm leaf. All right, I keep grabbing palm leaf. Right? Whoop! Bye-bye, V. That would be a hysterical gif. Hey, the word is graphic. Don't tell me it's GIF. It's GIF. So I'm going to jump over to palm leaf to do like some Granny Smith Macintosh type things because some of these are going to get a little both. Oh, so it's like a mole almost by doing that. Would a GIF be faster than Venice? Oh, the plaid is very good to me. Let's put it that way. They are darling people. See, I don't want to put on the plate because this isn't much that I need. I'm working straight from the bottle, folks. All right, so I'm taking some of this palm leaf from Plaid, their apple barrel line. And I'm just going to start painting this so that it's got apples in there. But I'm going to have a little bit of fun and kind of have it so the green and the red are going to mix a little bit for a few of them. Not all of them. Like this one, I'm going to make a nice apple. That's an apple. I think those are supposed to be carrots. See? Asparagus and carrots, I'm thinking. That, oops, sorry. That's going to be a nice green apple down there because it's so dark and hidden away. Apple, apple. Yeah, we'll make you a nice green apple too. Granny Smiths. There we go. Plus it brightens things up a little bit. Guinness? Ooh, we're talking about Guinness? There is this fantastic, and it's not even because it's organic, it was this organic dark chocolate stout that my local liquor store carries. I adore it. It's wonderful. It's wunderbar. Those are bits of asparagus. Asparagus. Alright, let me go to the red. Like I said, it's only a very little bit that I need of the paint, so now I'm moving over to red. Carrots could be... You know, I was thinking about that, Olivia, but then people were like, what are parsnips? See, I know what parsnips are. Not everyone knows what parsnips are. So, things to pawn... Oops, forgot to shake. I need to shake my gory red. Otherwise, I just have a gory mess. Guinness is the nectar of the gods. And of the common man. Now, this is a fun time of year. Like, people start getting, like, the fun brews and stuff for beers and stuff like that. So, yeah. All that goodness. And then you get the different... I am going to draw the line at pumpkin spice and everything. I'm a cider girl. Pumpkin spice does not need to be a flavor in every last blessed thing. Oh, no, no. We always do every Wednesday pudding. Hi, pudding. I had to. Sorry. Mr. J. Except he'd be Mr. P or Mrs. P. Innis and Gin is my go-to for high gravity beers. Interesting. Hello, Aras. How you doing, lady? Thank you very much. We're doing the fruits and veggies now. As best I can tell what they are. No, it's a fun little card. You can tell they've put some variety into it in terms of like shapes and whatnot. Some of this stuff I think I might just treat it like burlap, quite frankly. I don't know. Hold on. I need to. Potato, maybe? Those might be potatoes underneath the eggplant. Okay. We'll treat those like potatoes. Potato. Potato. Yeah, I went there. I totally went there. Alright, so I'm taking some of the Gory Red and putting it on that apple. Apple? I just went Raffy. But I'm also going to streak a little bit over where I had a little bit of green on the other one. Just to kind of nod to Macintosh apples. Those are my favorite. We have a farm out here that grows the best Macintosh apples. They are just perfection. Don't need to chop it or anything. Just go. I think we will treat that one as a red apple back there. Because why not? Yeah, this all looks like asparagus right through here. Now that I'm getting more of this painted up. Hold on. One moment, please. That's been getting on my nerves. That's the problem when I forgot I was going to do like little stuff. Normally I have a headband or something to pull my hair back and I forgot. Anywhere else I can work as... I've got to check this playlist. It keeps stalling out on me when it shouldn't be. Interesting. Kill yourself and kill yourself. Oh, God. That's something I did to myself. Raffy flashbacks activated. Oh, you're very welcome, Mike. Have a great day. When I brought out the new NPC Cal, the Alcide from the Grove, I hadn't given him as full thought as I thought I had, and I realized that when I was looking at my notes. Normally in my notes, I'll do a quick jot down of the type of voice I want for my NPCs. Like Jaleese, I have Jaja, because she has this very, very unique way of speaking. But for Cal, I had ... which means I was thinking about it. I hadn't landed on it at the moment. So I'm looking at the description and the adjectives: haughty, uptight, da-da-da-da. The next thing I knew, he's speaking with the French accent is coming out, and yes, that is one of his things. So then I realized, I'm like, I've just made the people in the Grove French. Possibly. That, or maybe I'll just, for some reason, he speaks like that, the others do not. But yeah, I did that. I did that to myself, and it was one of those things I was like, oh. Not that I don't mind doing my French accent, it's just one that it requires a little bit more thought on my end. A lot of it's because of positioning of your soft palate and whatnot. So, yeah, that was one of those things I was like, womp, 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 womp. You're an apple, and you're an apple, and everybody's an apple. And yes, I do love cider quinion, and I have known and loved Strongbow for quite a while. However, I will say it is better to get it over in the UK than here in the States, because holy moly, ours gets sweetened. Not even kidding. I was so bummed out when I realized that. We'd finally gotten some Strongbow in the area, and I tried it out. I'm like, why is this so sweet? Why do I feel like I'm drinking bubbly apple juice? So that was a disappointment. You two are going to be an apple. Yeah, I'm liking that for apples. That's fun. Woodchuck. See, all that's like just so sweet for me. I prefer very, very extremely dry apple cider. Like it gets you right back here type of tartness. That's my bread and butter. That's my love. I think that is going to take care of the reds for the apples, because this is all going to become asparagus through here. Carrots. potatoes, stems. So there you go. Better late than never. Who just popped in? Ha da 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 da. Caleb? Did you just jump in? Who just jumped in? Hello, Daniel. That's the hello. Hello, Daniel. Thank you for joining us. Good to see you here, sir. Mangers and Thatchers are some of the better fizzy ciders. This is good to know. This is good to know. Yeah, it's just woodchuck. How many chucks would woodchuck chuck? None. If it's that sweet. Woodchuck up, chuck. Yeah, I know. Mom of boys. Fart and puke humor.
It's me. Hey, Sunny.
Don't ask. Now I'm looking for an asparagus. Friendly green.
Asparagus.
Almost, not quite. No, you're too blue. Alright. I'm going to do a little... I don't want to do mixing because it's so small. You snuck in earlier, Caleb. That's right. You just haven't mentioned much, so that's why I think your name came up as new to my brain. I am going to mix two colors together, even though I don't really need to. Yeah, I agree, Quinian, that overseas stuff is a little bit better. A little bit better. Let me just do this. I'm going to take a little bit of the Kiwi, which is a great, vivid, bright green. It's too bright. It's slightly too bright for me. I need to mute it down a little bit. So I'm just going to dip my paintbrush tip into that, put it onto my plate. That's all I'm going to need. Not a whole bunch. All right, Ravenwolf just posted something, but YouTube's being silly. There we go. My husband used to brew stuff. He has made mead in the past, he's made cider, and he has made beer. It's not hard, it's just the time to do it. That's what comes into play. Let's see here. Brent. Yeah, there's, you know, I love that. Oh, I'm also taking olive green, not mountain green, olive green. And I'm adding just a touch into the Kiwi. So that way I get a more asparagus tone color that I need, as opposed to the bright, vibrant Kiwi on its own. There we go. And again, because I know this is going to get a wash on top of it, I'm making it slightly brighter than even normal asparagus would be, because otherwise it's going to look even more muted. Fairly frequently, just don't use Australian New Zealand honey. The eucalyptus pollen taints it. Well, that's learning something new. How cool. I didn't even know that would be a factor with the honey source being an issue. Huh. That's a very cool, the more you know. So I'm basically just dancing this green into those exposed bits for where I'm seeing what looks like asparagus tips and stalks. Very carefully in the corner here. Look at that, that's looking so fun. All about the coffee. I miss coffee. I cannot have the coffee, and I misses the coffee. That's definitely carrot mode right there. See, like I said, I didn't need too much of that green, but I knew I needed a certain green. Hence why. Whoops! Slight hiccup. Clean brush, pull away. There we go. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the chat. Whole section of your kitchen that looks like Starbucks? That's pretty cool. We actually have a coffee tea table in our kitchen because I drink tea and he has coffee. So he's got his coffee maker going. I have my little tea stuff going. And that's pretty much it for the asparagus parts. So I'm going to do the carrots and then we'll do the potatoes. Potatoes. I am going to jump down to a more narrow brush, though, because of what just happened. Oh, I need the... Here we go. Orange Fire for the carrots. Man, we just go all over the place with our chats, don't we? Go from talking about RPGs to TV shows to now we're talking about coffee and ciders and such. We're a well-rounded group with information, aren't we? Okay, going in with the Orange Fire. Is that what it was? I put it away. It was... Yes, Orange Fire. And there are carrots through here, so I'm going to take... What fuzzy is that? I'm going to take the fuzzy off my paintbrush. And then go in and get the carrots. There's one. There's one. And again, I'm working this so that the darker tones kind of act as shadows, which is why I'm not trying to get all of the paint down into the very, very edge of everything. My favorite tea flavor. I am a huge sucker for chai. I love myself a good chai latte, but it has to be made with coconut milk. Chai latte, please. Those are my groove. And Tezo actually has a fantastic pre-made mix you can buy. So all I have to do is just add in, at home I use rice milk because I have that available. Not everyone has rice milk around. But at home I'll take the Tazo pre-mixed chai blend and I'll put it in with some rice milk. And sometimes if I really want a caffeine jolt, I'll actually brew up a cup of tea and add the mix to that for a nice hot drink. But definitely a chai is my favorite go-to tea. It's just comforting. I like it. That was a very interesting question. Girlfriend bought a grinder a few years back and now you drink... Oh, yes. I'm trying to convince the mister that fresh ground is better. He tends to buy it. Orange spice is like a distant third. I like that with honey when I'm sick. So I'll do orange spice when I'm sick with some honey. Vanilla, believe it or not, I don't like vanilla chai. It has to be a chai, no vanilla factor into it. And I've tried different vanilla chais, and it's too much vanilla. Yeah, YouTube censors some words automatically, and sometimes just like, wow, okay. It's silly like that. It's YouTube. Like last week, this, the Pig and Cart episode, it got limited exposure for monetization. Why? I have no idea. So I had to click the, please manually investigate and make sure this is okay. And within 15 minutes it popped back up. But it's frustrating because there goes some of the primetime viewing. Because something, unbeknownst to me, nothing that's made clear, it says content, it's very vague. It's like, subject matter or content is considered questionable. It's like painting a little piggy is questionable. YouTube, we need to have a conversation. Chai tastes like Christmas to you. That's fair, because it's actually got a lot of Christmas spices in it. So yeah, I can see that. Alright, I'm going to just put a little bit of orange down through here. There's a carrot hiding. There we go. Alright, and then we're going to do potatoes right there. And then we'll do the stalks. And then the metal bit. And then... Alright, so the cart was a little bit longer than the pig. Pig was an hour and a half. The cart's probably like an hour 45. Would be my guess. And if I leave all the paints out to label what I did, it's going to take up the whole table. Granted, I have more table space, but still. So I need just a nice basic brown. We'll go with earth. Earth for potatoes? Why not? That works for me. Biscuit tea. Biscuit. I haven't had biscuit tea. We all sell sandwiches bare bottom. Right? We sell pig butt. Although watch, because I've just said that. Watch. I am half tempted to maybe try a stream here or there over on Twitch. I don't know. I'm debating it. Because I know for some of you, Twitch isn't as easily accessible. And I don't want to deter you guys. Viewing YouTube videos for content. Lisa? Oh my god, that is not a job I'd want. You kidding me? So the earth is just going to go over these potato-like clusters. Yeah. Local honey is great if you have allergy issues. Speaking from experience, it doesn't get rid of them, at least for my sake, but it helps alleviate. So I will say, if you hear that, get some local honey. It even helps if you have it with a honeycomb in it. Why? I don't know, but I have noticed that. I am not the expert. I am only the procurer of help me with my allergies mode. Okay, and there we have the potatoes done too. I do need to get the eggplant's cap, which I'm just going to actually jump over to using the mix again. Any chance the pig might be offensive to some religions? It is cloven hooved. I don't know. Hello, Tori. Twitch does have the PC and Lab, yes. Aw, thank you very much, Mr. Jake. How are you doing, buddy? Tomorrow's Thursday night. Cantriell wants to play. Oh, good grief, we're in Salt Marsh, too. Oh, geez, I'm not even in frame, am I? Whoops. So sorry. There we go. Now I just need to do the stems of all the pumpkins. Look at how fun that card is. It's just this little pop of color, which again, I need my camera back. That's what I need. Yes, if you are a fan of crafting as well as streaming, we need to check out Mini Train Domain. He's got YouTube and Twitch. Jake! Oh, gosh. So, hold on here. Now my Bonewhite is all gone. I'm going to go back to... No, I'm going to do Desert Yellow. I'm going to do Desert Yellow for the stems. And then this guy will get his metal work done, and I'll do a wash with the Agrex everywhere. Everything's getting Agrex. I might go back into the fruits and vegetables later, see how they look after the Agrex is done. And I might just do a little bit of very, 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 very light dry brushing with a lighter tone. We'll see. Yes, and some religions consider cows sacred animals as well, so it's one of those things where it's quite possible. It is quite possible. I would not be surprised, let's put it that way. Alright, so now I'm going in with Desert Yellow just to get their stems painted. Eat the pumpkins. With their stems. Oh, that one's got a little stem on it. This is probably the first year the kids haven't started talking about Halloween costumes. Normally they're locked and loaded by September. It's kind of funny. We'll have to see. It's probably going to be something like Minecraft related or Skyrim, who knows. Do you want to get a little bit more of the stem? That one. There we go. Let's see here. Yeah, don't give an infant honey. You have to worry about, I think it's botulism. No. What is it? Something... God, I haven't had a 1-year-old in quite a while, but I remember that being very much stressed. Do not give an infant until they're over the age of 1 honey. There are repercussions. I'm trying to remember what exactly off the top of my head, which is now failing me. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with how that cart has come out. Look at how cheerful and cute. So I'm wanting to get this part here done. And I have a really cool... you see? We learn you stuff here. I am going to go back over to... What am I going to use? Here we go. Brushed black, which is a metal that I've come to, thank you to. It is botulism. Okay, so I wasn't off. Hey, that Not too shabby for 7 years gone by. All right, so yay, I remembered that. Fun parenting fact. So this is a, let me show you this. This brush black from Full Colors Brush Metal Line. I'm very much a fan of it. Very much a fan of this color. I'm going to use it on that cross beam. It's sort of like you take pavement and you mix silver in with it. Yeah, see? So trust me, Jonathan. I get it. You remember these things faithfully at the time, and then when you don't have to worry about it anymore, your brain's like, oh, useful bit of information. You don't need that anymore. Let's remember that lyric from the 80s again. So I'm going to take this brush black and I'm going to put it over through here. And I'm just going to do a very thin coating, because I do want some of the undertones here to play through as well. So I'm going to do the bottom first. That was totally my finger coming into play when I was holding it and I pulled the paint off. Uh-oh. Which, because it's the underside of it, I'm not stressing. So I'm doing this as a thin coat of the metallic, because then it too looks like it's been a little bit more weathered. So there we go. But this brush black is great for things like this, for bigger bits of metal that would be like wrought iron and that type of thing. Very much a fan of it. I didn't have it in my collection until Plaid sent it to me a couple shipments back, I think. I'm still loving the fact that they had someone going around, which con was it? Dragon Con, dressed up as a bottle of Mod Podge. I kid you not. It was fantastic. I saw pictures of it on Instagram and I was cracking up each time. You saw it in an episode of VR. Well, hey, educational television. Huge washes, you're severely... Are you letting it dry? That's going to be my first question to you with metallic and washes. You cannot jump right into a wash with a metallic. You need to let that stuff dry for at least 12 hours, I have discovered. Otherwise, you might run the risk of it bleeding and muting the metallic and also pulling the metallic flecking into your other paint areas. Definitely hold off when you're doing washes with metallics and let things dry thoroughly. That can sometimes be the culprit. It might also be your wash itself. I don't know which wash you're using. I have found with Army Painter, they do lift up my metallics sometimes. I don't know why. So I'm careful with those. But from personal experience, I found that if I've gone in too soon and things are still damp, bye-bye metallic is really what's happened with me. Okay, so that gives me the crossbar. But look at that. I love how this metal works out so nicely. I don't even go back in and worry too much about dry brushing once it dries up, which you can't tell right now because it's so shiny. Let me get the hubs. There we go. That is going to get the same treatment. Hair dryer! Yeah. Yeah, those... Anything that has... the color shifts, the metals, stuff that has the particulate matter to make things sparkly. That tends to affect paint time, and it also makes it a weaker connection. There's a word I'm looking for. I'm just not thinking of it right now. The paint doesn't have bond. There we go. You have a slightly weaker bond because it's not the paint pigments all latching onto each other. It's the pigments also latching onto these flecks. So you really need to make sure that paint is dry before you proceed with anything on top. Is what it sounds like it could be the issue. Let me get this out of the shadow. Dirt. So again, just putting this brush black onto there. Do-do-do. What we do to the one, we do to the other. Oh, that's interesting. Then you know what? Probably I would go ask Jeremy. Ask Jeremy if he has any experience with that. Go straight to the horse's mouth. And I use that on purpose because I'm painting a pig in its cart. Yeah, I honestly have not used his wash, so I'm not familiar as to what is in it or what could be causing it in that case. Hey, Dustins and Dragons, how are you? that's good to hear. Thank you very much. And now you're going to have twice a week. Because I do this on Fridays too for terrain. Yay! Oh, yeah, no. No. You got to give it more time to dry than 2 to 3 hours. I honestly, like, any minis I have, like this guy is going to sit until tomorrow morning. Earliest before I do any type of wash on it. But the card itself I am quite happy with. It is pretty much... How are we with time? Oh, look at that! Hour and a half. I was not expecting that. Yes, the ground mica. So it affects its bondage. No, it's bonding. Okay, so here we have... Let me get the wheels back on.
One moment, please.
There is a specific way to put the wheels on because it's got like a little notch in them. That way, I believe. Yes. Okay, so very delicately. Here we have our happy little cheerful weathered wood cart for sandwich, full of all these yummy fruits and vegetables and gourds. Military armor. Oh, Justin, if you only knew. I truly can say no more about that one. Yo, Dice Guy, how you doing? You're coming in towards the end. So I'm doing the little fashion spin of the cart, so you can see how that came out. And again, it's got the agrax. That's the word I want. The agrax on it, but only after the metal bits have dried. Get some beads. Hello, Killamore. And here is Sandwich. Actually, this is still kind of shiny on me. I think I'm going to take some Mod Podge matte, or actually, yeah, the matte Mod Podge. I'm going to paint that up and fix that so he's not so shiny. But here, let's do a quick little test fit. Hold on. One moment. There we go. Look at our cute little pig. Yeah, I'm very happy with how these colors kind of played off each other. Oh, that's fun. He's going to be a fun one to take pictures of. Absolutely. Cannot wait for photos of this guy. Let me see if I can... Can I? It's a very good question.
Mother Maya?
No. Wrong way. Oh, I need my camera back. I miss my camera. That kind of gives you the idea. Again, the wheels aren't pushed on tightly. I'm going to glue those are going to get super glued on. That gives you the basic gist of him, and I will take his picture. Once I get the cart and the agrax, I'll take his final beauty shot. Because let's face it, Sandwich is beautiful. Uh-oh, demonetized again for pig content. The pig is back! Take it away! Thank you very much, everyone. He does need a tutu. I agree, Lisa. That would be hysterical. I wouldn't give a pig a tutu. Never. I love it. So thank you so much for... I'll fix this later. Thank you so much for joining me today. What's going to happen is on Friday, I will be back and I will be doing the terrain focus. So for that, I'm going to go back into... These guys need to get painted up, but I'm going to be showing you how to paint the mushroom terrain scatter that I showed you how to build last Friday. So have some fun stuff for this in mind. I just got to get my base coat layer on here with colors. That's just it's going to be pavement mixed with Mod Podge, and I just painted on, and it's going to go on to the base of the mushrooms as well as all around here. And then you guys will see what I'm going to do for these bits on Friday. Any tips for photoing minis? Natural light, and a good source of off-white background type of thing. So that is the plan for Friday. So you'll see me tomorrow night on Mini Terrain Domain as Cantriel, and then you will find me back here again for the Terrain Feature Friday, where I like to show you what I'm going to make for terrain, and I'm also going to try and mention a few lovely people in our community that I would love for you to go and check out. So keep an eye out for that. Have a lovely rest of the week. If I don't see you, have a great weekend, and take care, everyone. Bye. Except I need to get my mouse, and now I can say a proper goodbye.